back to my channel. My name is Esther Katene Magezi, and I have a special guest today. She's a mother of a special boy called Harvey. She's called Dorothy Kisarale. Her mother was a headmistress of Gaza High School, although not in my time, probably in your time. What you talked about that he left. Yes. What are your views?
Now, you know, different people accept challenges differently.
Yes.
Unfortunately for us mothers, when it's a special needs child, anyway, child or special needs or not, it's mothers,
child.
It's
yes.
your child.
Yes.
So for me, there was no doubt that there was no two way about it. For me, I had to accept. Now it was upon me how I was going to move.
Yes, how you are commanding the narrative.
Yes. So now I was with this partner who now kept stifling me down. Let's cut down on these bills. Let's do this. But for me, like I've told you, I decided to become an intentional parent.
Yes. So
I've been reading a lot. I've been researching a lot. Now, each time I had read about some, I remember a time there are Indians along Entebbe Road. There's a hospital there. We used to take him for acupuncture there.
The hospital is called what?
St. Angela Marisi Neurological Hospital. So we used to take him there every day. Of course, you've been to where I stay. It's quite far.
It's fine.
Now driving to Entebbe, every day was taking a toll on us.
Yes.
Not to mention the amount of money that we used to pay the other side.
Yes.
So it all started taking a toll on us, then also the child. Then initially, I think they had told us we would see change after a month. A month passed, we saw no change. 2, 3. And that's the time my reading had really heightened. And then this person now was telling me there's no change. So also I think stories from other people, friends, his family, you're spending a lot of money on this child, there's not going to be change, stop wasting, look at, you know, other methods of and for me, I was now thinking, no, you're not serious. I'm seeing change. Why aren't you seeing the change? Because when we started the treatment, Harvey had squints
of the eyes.
Yes. After about maybe 5 months of treatment, they were now eyes like yours and mine. So now it was bothering me that this person was not seeing that change.
Difference, yes.
And then when it got to now asking me to take him to our home, that's when I thought, no.
A children's home.
A children's home for disabled.
Disabled, yeah, that you go and leave him there.
So yes. I thought
you were not ready to walk that road.
Exactly.
And you decided to choose the child.
Exactly. You're better off. I'm better off without you. If you feel you're uncomfortable,
yes,
let me do me. Because it was even also now beginning to affect me.
Of course, yes.
So that's how we parted ways with Harvey's dad.
Do you intend to remarry?
No.
Why?
I feel now, first of all, I think I'm so busy. There's a lot around Harvey, around what I'm doing. I need to have my NGOs at a certain point. I keep looking at, today you found my house without an extra mother. Usually there's an extra mother who has come for psychosocial support along with their child. I don't see a person, I don't see a partner that would be comfortable enough to have 2 disabled children at a time in their house. I don't know. And for me, I feel now that's where my passion is.
That's your purpose.
I want to.
Yes.
If I had a bigger house, I would have as many
parents with their children
as possible.
You know why they come? Because when you come to your territory and you see it, then you believe it. Exactly. So when they come here and they say, oh, this is how you do it. Oh, basically you're teaching. Yes.
So for me, my home is so open. They know at any one time. I have a group of 126 mothers in Kampala now, and at any one given time, there's always someone asking, Dorothy, can I come to yours for a week to recoup? You know? So I don't have much, I don't offer much. It's just the generic, you know, psychosocial support. Together we are a team. You're going through what I'm going through. We can move. It's doable. If you're doing it, you're happy, it's doable. They always leave energized, re-energized. For me, I'm fortunate enough to have a big team of supportive friends. Actually,
I was going to ask you that for you, who is your support?
I have a very big team of supportive friends. The girls that I went to Gayaza with.
They're year mates.
My year mates.
Yes.
I'll share this one with you. When they had just learnt about Harvey. First of all, I had Harvey Jan 4th, 2019. I was working in Mukwano. I resigned to give 100% Harvey to Harvey. So the whole of 2019 until last year, about March,
before COVID lockdown.
Before lockdown, I was not employed. So these girls, I think I told about. I must have told maybe about 1 to 4. And they went and told the rest of the class and said, guys, our friend is going through this. What do we do? Let's do something. Around, maybe it was March or June, used to collect 1.5 million Ugandan shillings to me every month. So it was like I was earning 1.5 million every month. I would receive that money every end of month without fail. Until I started working. So for me, then of course each time he falls sick, in the 2 years we've been in and out of Zambia, I lost count. Yes, I've lost count, because for us when he gets flu, even a simple flu will block the lungs, the breathing will go down, fevers will spike. It's never simple. We always end up being admitted.
Is it simpler now than when he was younger?
Definitely. It's simpler now when he was younger.
So as he grows, it's much better.
Yes, because now I can give him the garlics and the ginger. When they are below 1, you're even scared of giving him those things, thinking, what if I wasn't? But now it's much easier. I give him garlic and ginger. I give him so many things without fear of what if. Because I mean, now he's of age. So I was telling you that I lost count of the number of times we've been in and out of hospital. And of all those times, I have these friends that will, as soon as I send messages, hi, Harvey's back in, hi, we're in Zambia. I don't even have to say details, because it's always the same room, same place, same bed. We don't change. So I just send these girls messages. Hi, we are back in Sunday. So Dorothy, who's sleeping there today? Who is coming tomorrow? What do I bring? I'm not telling them. They know. It's like they know what to do. Dorothy, what do we need? Who is there with you today? So they've walked. I have a very strong team of friends. Not to mention my mother and family, because like I told you, before I got to know about the sleeping disorder, there's so many nights we spent awake. Harvey can go, and most cerebral palsy children can go a week without sleeping, day and night.
What?
Yes, because that part of the brain that now. They don't run mad, but they will get seizures.
Yes, because that's of that drive.
Yes. Now, when they get seizures, the seizures mostly that kill our children.
Yes.
So you have to tame that tiredness.
Yes.
You're better off sedating him so that the brain recoups.
Shuts down, yes.
than leaving them in overdrive to get seizures. Each seizure that comes destroys
something,
a brain cell. Yet when you rest, the brain produces brain cells.
Hey, you really read about these things?
Yes, I have. So initially, my family, there's so many nights would be awake. I'd be tired.
Yes, of course.
Day and night, I'll be tired. I could use a simple rest each time someone came and to offer a hand with Harvey. I would rest.
Zone out, yes.
So my family was that person. There's so many times my siblings, each time they are free, they know we have to go and rescue Dorothy. So I'm really grateful for that, for my support system. Yeah.
If you had to sum up Dorothy in one word, what word would that be?
Resilience.
Resilience. Why? How?
I now think I now know that there's no situation I cannot go through because of course of my son. One of my mothers has a child in aged care, as we talk. The child has been on oxygen, very badly off. And I got there and I told her, no, this child is not looking bad. Calm down, why are you even crying? At 9 years of your child, you've not seen this before.
I know.
And she said, no, Dorothy. Your 2 years have been a lot more harder because like every month you're telling me you're in Zambia. In fact, the month when you tell me you're not in Zambia is a good month for you. But for me, it's resilience because I now don't see a situation that would bring tears down my eyes apart from death.
How far has this been? Whereby you're like, I'm so resilient, I don't think anything can really shake me. When did you decide that today I'm done with the crying and all this and now I'm...
Because Harvey has had 4 near-death experiences where even the doctor has said, are you ready? It is coming. And it doesn't come. The first time I actually sat at the incubator waiting and I told my cousin, I'm not going to sleep. I'm better off sitting here and watch my son die than me going.
And then they wake you up.
I'm the one, you know, I'm better off watching him die so that I'm the one that goes and tells the doctor it has happened. Than the doctor coming to wake me up and say it has happened. No. So there's even another time I don't remember what infection it was. It was a very bad infection. All the gums in his teeth, in his mouth, sorry, were swollen and had the blister like. And so they had to do a lumbar puncture, you know, to draw water from the spine and test if it's meningitis and all. And everyone kept telling me, no, don't allow that procedure to be done. And I said, you know what? Now doctors are telling me, you're going to lose him without knowing what it is that has killed. He's going to die anyway, so isn't it better we draw the water to find out what it is? If we can't treat, maybe we could. So all those situations for me have really...
And what did you decide? That they drew the water?
Of course I decided that they drew the water and we know what it is that we were working with.
Yes.
Unfortunately, it was negative. It was not meningitis, but I had already let, you know, we had him baptized in hospital because...
Yes. Like they
now this is even another time, another of those 4 times where people are telling you, Dorothy, let him die, let him go when you've baptized. You can't let him die before baptism. And I said, you know what? I called the Reverend, let's do this. So it's those situations that have hardened me. 4 times of all those 4 times doctors telling you, be strong, it is coming.
He has a great destiny over his life, that means.
Yes.
And what do you think that destiny is? What, for you in your heart, what do you think he's meant to do in this world? Or where do you want to steer him?
Now that I have started an NGO after him, I'm hoping that I raise him to be such an inspiration and a voice. I'm grateful he actually understands. So I want to nurture him to actually run this NGO later on in life.
So he is
to be
the
a
testimony.
voice. Yes.
Yes, that I lived through it. I am
Exactly.
here. You can do this too.
Exactly. Oh. And he has a very strong gift of discernment. When initially when I would suffer with helps, when I get a new help, I'll tell them, don't think he doesn't understand. If you're bad, he's going to refuse you even before you do anything. And indeed, there's one, the girl's witness. I think I brought her to start washing or do something to help out. And each time this lady tried to carry him, he would wail. I never hear my son wail. My son actually never cries, unless maybe it's a bad fall, which is very rare, or hunger. But this girl, each time she tried to carry him, or even reach out to carry him, he cried. And I told her, you know what? You're not a good person. My son never refuses anyone unless bad-hearted or there's an ulterior motive. You're pretending to be good before me, but you're not actually good.
Yes.
And each time I'd have a sense of fear. You know, as a mother, there's that fear.
Will he be okay? Will they help him well?
Yes. So and yet I don't have it currently with the current one. So this time I said, you know what, let me park a bit far. You know, when you drive in, when they hear the hood, they organize what is there. Yes. So this time I left the car out and I came walking in. And I found her on phone. My son was in a chair crying. He never wants to leave him alone. You put him down, but with you seated next to him. So now I think she was on phone. I entered when she was on phone, and I heard her say, I can't handle looking after this child. It's a lame child. Fine, the mother is paying very well, but I can't handle looking after a lame child. And that's when it dawned on me. That's why Harvey was refusing this girl. Yes. So yeah, he has a very strong spirit of discernment, sense of discernment. So for me, as soon as he discerns someone, refuses someone, this person has a problem. I work with Children's Clinic Nalia as a business development manager. I also do work with public health, and then also my NGO. I keep telling myself there's no two way. Yes. My son needs therapy bills covered. Yes. There's rent to pay. There's bills to pay for. Yes. There's no two way. Unlike people who are a team with a spouse, I don't have that luxury. So it's work. There's no two way. Very many times I have friends that have asked Dorothy, how can I be a part of you? And for me, I think somebody can be a part of me by first understanding and appreciating our children. For me, that's good enough. Because it's only then that you'll appreciate me when I break down. It's only then that you'll appreciate me or Harvey when he's sick. And also other people, other parents, basically. How to help other special needs parents.
Have you talked about your daughter? Yeah, please tell us how you're managing with your daughter, because you know when you have a younger sibling who's taking all mommy's attention, how do you deal with that? Is there any jealousy?
I have really tried to, at 4 years of her age, at 4 years where she is right now, I've tried to equip her with as much knowledge as I can for her to appreciate her brother. and other children with special needs. I try to take her to places, to homes of children with special needs, because for me it is very unfortunate. It is very unfortunate when I meet an adult who I think is even literate asking me the silliest of questions about my son. So I never want that situation for my daughter, because she has no choice being raised
with a sibling, yes.
With a sibling like that.
Yes, yes.
I would not forgive myself if
you're not enlightened.
Exactly.
Yes, yes.
So I want, even the children that are in the neighborhood, they all know Harvey's brain has a wound. I've tried to break it down to their level. Yes. Harvey's brain got a wound. The brain is inside our head. It got a wound. When it gets a wound, you can't walk and play
like you. Yes.
I actually also have thought about writing a children's reader.
That's brilliant. Because someone must explain it to them.
Yes.
Yes.
And they understand these things. Yes, because now my 4-year-old, each time I have someone new, she will be the first to tell them, no, Harvey doesn't eat that. Harvey doesn't eat that. Harvey doesn't do this. Harvey doesn't. Don't do that to Harvey. And I'm proud. I feel I've done something. No, I did not get angry at God, because this situation already found me as a Christian, as a believer.
As a praying mother.
As a praying mother.
So God has a purpose and a plan.
Yes. And my mother always refers to Harvey as my golden goose. And indeed,
yes.
He's been my golden goose. Before I had Harvey, I had applied for a master's. And actually I had started my master's in business administration. But I was doing it because I wanted a master's. And along the way, I dropped out because it just wasn't feeling right. Then when I had Harvey, I recently now went back, enrolled. I'm doing a master's in social work.
Now you even changed direction. I
changed direction.
Because now you know what you want and what your purpose is.
Exactly.
Yes.
So God placed Harvey in my life. One, for me,
yes,
it was more about me.
Yes.
For me, that one I have seen. Even with provision, there's a way God has done. There's a way God has done it all. I've not lacked. I never lack. Even when I actually don't have, I know that there will be something. There will be a miracle, and it always has happened. I remember when Harvey was making 2, I told my mom, now I'm starting school. Heather is starting school. I want to take Harvey to school later. I need a wheelchair. How am I going to manage? And somehow things fall into place. So I've never even been angry. Never even occurred to me to be angry at God. In fact, I'm very grateful to God, because it's because of Harvey that I got a purpose in life.
I can imagine. You're fulfilling your purpose on this earth.
That's true.
And it's very important. What would you tell a mother out there who's just starting, who has just been told that this is a journey?
Pray. I have a friend, I love to quote this, a very close friend of mine called Hannah told me, spiritual wounds are healed by the Spirit. Evil spirit, Holy Spirit, it's up to you. Which spirit do you choose to heal your emotional wound?
Yes.
And for me, I chose the Holy Spirit. So,
and you said you already had a relationship with him.
Yes, and I already had a relationship with him. So a mother that is starting this journey, it's a very tough journey. I will not lie to you. But you have to be equally tougher to manage. Because it's not going to help you to keep breaking down. And where your mental health as a mother is determines what your child looks like. most of the children that I have come across that are severely disabled, malnourished, when you look at the mother is actually in a very bad mental health state. And no one is going to help you to uplift yourself.
Yes, absolutely no one. Yes.
You have to do the work yourself, so other people fall in along the way.
Basically, you're the film star, the rest are just supporting actresses. Yes.
So find your own healing. Find something that for me it is writing, which is why I took to writing. I have blogs, I'm writing my book. So for me it is my escape has been writing. Recently also the gym, because now I realize the book is ending. So recently the gym. Find something that you do, even if it's just for 1 hour, that takes you away from Harvey. It's that place, that safe place that will enable you recoup, and it's only then, yes, and it's only then after you recoup that you can give, because then you're full, and have something to give.
Thank you very much, Dorothy, for sharing your views with our viewers, with our parents. And I'm so glad that you're an intentional parent and that you've chosen that path. And you've seen God blessing you in that journey. You know, that world, the future is very bright. Yeah, so we thank God for the resilience He's given you. And we thank you for choosing to stand up for Harvey, you know. It's always, I've noticed in my life that so many times I've been blessed by God because I've chosen to be an intentional parent. Because I've given my time to my children, somehow other things have worked out right, you know. And by God's grace, it's all well, it is okay. Yeah, so I thank you. I hope you'll be able to reach out to Dorothy in case you need to hear from her. I'm going to include her details on screen and in the comments so that you can reach out to her if you need help, if you need, you know, how to talk to you, if you need to meet her, to support her NGO. It will be a blessing for she's doing a phenomenal job. She has so many mothers that are looking up to her. She's a pace setter, basically. You know, she's influencing lives. And that's what really our lives should be. Like, you know, we're here for a purpose, and that purpose has been achieved. It's not just for us and our home, no. That several other people can say, I am stronger because of the decision you made. Or I'm stronger because you chose that path. So thank you, Dorothy. I don't know if you have any closing remarks.
Yes, I have a workshop coming up for special needs mothers. Most of them don't work, are not employed. So I and a group of friends have come up with an initiative to teach them how to bake, how to, you know, make sandals, crafts. So it's basically a self-financial sustaining workshop for special needs mothers. So if you know any out there, please send them over to me so that we together do something so that they can be able to raise their children. This mental health thing is quite
for mothers that are raising special needs children.
For mothers raising special needs children is very, very tough. Just beginning of this year alone, I have had 4 mothers being admitted at Butabika. They are not yet discharged even as we speak. It's very, 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 very tough.
Wow. Yeah. So you have to work on yourself as a mother.
Yes, it's very, very important.
Yes, because what you don't have, you can't give.
Exactly.
Was there a stigmatization to you, towards you, because of your child, because of having?
Stigma is there. Stigma, you can't run away from it. Even right now on social media, there are quite a number of people that are looking at me and sneering and wondering, why is it that I'm talking about my child?
Why are you exposing him?
Why am I exposing him? Stigma, you can't run away from it.
But that comes with the calling.
Exactly.
Yes.
You have to really, really be hard when it comes to this journey.
Yes.
And that resilience only you can build.
Yes.
No one else is going to build
it for you. Yes.
Yes. Because their governments have
support.
Yes.
Yes.
In fact, I have a friend who keeps telling me, why don't you move to Canada? Why don't you move to Canada? You will have free education, will have free accommodation. Yes. And I'm like, no, I can't. wake up one morning and I relocate just because of my son. Secondly, I will have no impact
yes, because it's where the challenges are and how you're living through the challenges.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So for me, that's why for my NGO, I'm also putting a lot of emphasis on me, not Harvey.
Yes,
me, the mother, Harvey's mother.
Yes, because the mother, if the mother is strong, Harvey is strong.
Exactly. Yes. If the mother is fine,
yes,
I'm better.
Yes,
I'm in better position to care for him.
Yes.
While most of the other NGOs out there are looking at Harvey. Come and give Harvey a chair. Come and give. But you're not looking at what are we going to eat. You've given him a chair, but what are we going to eat? They're going to
because the mother is not working, so she's full-time supporting Harvey. Yes.
So they're going to sell that chair so they can find their next meal.
Yes.
So it's...
And you're saying there are parents reaching out to you from Rwanda,
Kenya, Tanzania. I actually just walk them off us so that they create their own group.
Yes.
So I see my NGO covering the whole of
Africa. That's your vision.
That is my vision. Because the challenges are the same.
Yes.
Our governments hardly look down on children with special needs.
Yes. They hardly support them.
And the way they cover disability as a whole.
Yes.
And adults, disabled, and there's this fund that has been going down
for disability.
To the disabled.
Yes.
But now here's the catch. Unfortunately, it does not trickle down now to us.
Of course.
Because I'm not the one who's disabled.
Yes.
So they'll look at you like, why are you even coming for this money?
Yes.
You're not disabled.
Yes.
It's your child.
Yes.
So, but now, my child can't yet access it.
Yes.
They'll say he's not yet 18. So
yes.
It's just sad. So for me, I'm looking at lobbying. If we can, first of all, have our kids anti-seizure medicines put as first-line medicines like HIV, malaria medicines, because they're essential drugs, and yes, they always run out. Give you an example. There's a drug we usually use when they're having seizures. It's a rectal called diazepam. There's usually a country stock out on that drug. Yes. Because unfortunately, also cancer people use the same drug. So when they bring it in, they'll make sure Cancer Institute has, and also the psychiatric hospital Utarika has. The rest of you
have to sort yourself.
Just watch your child having a seizure. If they make it through well and good, if they don't, sorry.